Take one.
3, 2, 1.
I'm Dane, actor, father, and a person living with ALS. You may know my fictional characters in Grey's Anatomy or in Euphoria, but ALS is my reality now, stealing my strength to hug my kids. And hopefully now I can pick up the baton and fight a little harder so that maybe, we can find a solution to this thing.
This morning, actor Dane revealing a devastating diagnosis.
The 52-year-old is best known for his roles in Grey's Anatomy and Euphoria.
Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, causes progressive paralysis of the muscles.
We need the fastest path to a cure. And that's why I partner with I AM ALS on the push for progress.
Welcome to I AM ALS. I'm sorry you're here, but I'm really glad you found us. My name is Brian Wallach. I'm alive. I'm fighting. I am ALS.
We founded I AM ALS because we want to see a cure within our lifetime. Federal funding for ALS had flatlined for decades, and we knew that we had the ability to mobilize patient and caregiver communities to drive change faster with funding, with legislation.
Since the launch of I AM ALS, the community has secured more than $1.6 billion in federal funding, with a coalition of patients, families, and other advocates leading, along with bipartisan champions in Congress. This includes the most recent $313 million for 2026, the largest bucket of funding ever for ALS from any source. And it's not just funding. This work is driving critical scientific breakthroughs and providing access to promising investigational therapies that are extending the lives of people living with ALS today. I AM ALS is a growing national movement, actively transforming our path to progress and bringing hope to hundreds of people and families living with ALS.
There's urgency, there's hope, and we need everyone possible to engage in this fight.
I had a wedding sequence I had to shoot.
We're talking Euphoria, right?
Yeah, we're talking Euphoria. And a wedding sequence I had to shoot the reception. And it's written that I'm wasted, sloshed, drunk for this entire reception. And I was like, people are gonna think I'm brilliant. Because I already sound like I'm drunk. I don't need to act.
I'll tell you one little story about Brian. When I had learned of his diagnosis, we sat down and did basically, again, like a 1-minute PSA like this. We decided to keep the camera rolling afterwards and just capture a bunch of reflections from him, and that wound up forming the spine of the documentary that I did about him.
You made that documentary.
Yeah, I made it. Did you watch that one on Amazon?
It was hard for me to watch.
Yeah, I bet it was. It was, yeah.
When I went public, I was immediately connected with Brian and Sandra. And they were very generous with their time and jumping on the phone with me and kind of telling me what their organization stands for and what they've done. And I was immediately comforted in knowing that this place was going to be a needle mover. I had been told a lot of things about Brian. I hadn't watched the documentary yet. I was shocked to realize I was having a conversation with Sandra. Brian can't speak anymore.
Yep.
And he was in a wheelchair. It's the cruelest of all diseases.
Yeah, it's the worst.
And that's not me coming up with that. That's all the doctors I've seen. They're the worst one. It's a hard thing to live with, and it's a hard thing for the...
Sorry. That's okay.
It's a hard thing for the people... people around me.
I think everybody wishes they could do more, you know?
They feel helpless. And this is all new to me. This is uncharted territory. I'm learning as I go. I'm just trying to like walk through this thing with as much grace and dignity as I can so I can show my kids, this is how you do this. There's a grieving process, but it's also important not to indulge in it. At the end of the day, you just got to keep moving forward.
For years, ALS funding has ticked up a little tiny bit, but not enough to really kind of change the way that we actually fight the disease. Unless we actually make the investment as a society to really transform the fight, we're going to be chipping away at it for years and years to come.
Rare diseases, it takes a lot more to advocate because, theoretically, if there are fewer voices, the voices that exist have to be even more robust, even more so with a disease like ALS, where it really debilitates people often quickly. And we're trying to figure out how for a disease like specifically ALS and other diseases like that, you give a community all the tools they need to activate and advocate.
From the beginning, I Am ALS has engaged policymakers on the Hill and given them ideas that they can actually advance.
And I think the reason it's moved so quickly is because I Am ALS has created this vehicle, this network for Americans from across the country who are really facing just the worst possible outcome. It's a way for them to come together and ask the government for help. And they have created this army of members of Congress who are making that happen. It's this combination of legislative, regulatory, grassroots, and funding that is really, it's changing history in front of our eyes. That's really what they're all about.
If we lose the momentum that we've built with Act for ALS, I think it would be devastation really in our community. It has been transformational funding. The fruit of that labor is only now just playing out. It not only increased the number of people with ALS who are not clinical trial eligible to gain access to investigational therapies, but it's helped build an infrastructure in ALS to really be an engine to find more meaningful therapies and eventually discover a cure. That's the transformation that Act for ALS is actively doing now, and why it's so urgent that we continue that funding to keep up the momentum that we've built in the community.
I'm a huge proponent of hope, and to me, the expanded access programs that came out of Act for ALS have been a huge source of hope. So many of my patients were able to get their hands on something that was promising. The number of trials that are out there today is more than we've ever had, but still 95% of people living with ALS will not be able to find a clinical trial. I hope we can continue these programs, maybe even grow these programs, both from a standpoint of hope, but also from a standpoint of learning.
It's pretty remarkable what a human being is capable of accepting as a new normal and then having to accept it again and again, day after day. With ALS, things change pretty radically. A lot of people get into a state of hopelessness because everything points towards one direction. I'm going to do whatever I can to fight to get myself on the mend, and as a result, countless others, and that's going to require a lot of movement on my part. How are you, Dan?
Hey, oh, it's to see you.
Yeah, likewise, brother. How are you?
Other than being always late, I'm pretty good.
That's my line. Yeah, I'm surprised at how buoyant my spirit has stayed throughout this whole thing. I don't know where it comes from, because I'm a complainer. I like to complain and whine, and I haven't done any of that.
You have to stay positive, otherwise they should get you really in a short place.
Yeah, I agree. There's no other choice other than to stay positive, because it's life or death.
Yeah, the disease
causes people to go inside themselves, but you are fighting and going outside yourself, and that gives us all a lot of hope.
That's right.
Thank you, bro.
That is the only way we can fight this.
Yeah. I'm gonna ring every bell.
Bam, we rocking.
He's a mother.
I understood that very clearly.
Thank you so much.
You're
I
very
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Leader Schoolies, Eric Dane. Very nice to meet you.
You coming.
Good to meet you.
Likewise. Nice to meet you, Tammy.
Thanks so much for being here.
I love your steak. Half my family's in Anchorage.
Really?
Yeah. That's a 63-pound king salmon, right? When I was 12, on that same river, I caught a 72 pound. It was bigger than I was.
I'm going to confess something right up front. I have a son who is 6 weeks into medical school.
Okay.
I'll show you his picture. My wife has been running around showing his white coat ceremony picture going, now he's McDreamy. You're the one and only McSteamy, McDreamy, McEvy.
We have a bill that needs to get to the floor for reauthorization.
Okay.
And it needs to get fully funded. Because if it doesn't, then people who are dependent upon some of these investigational therapies no longer have access to them.
I have been on this for 5 years, and before I went on that drug, I used to use a speaker and amplifier for my voice. Since I started that, I no longer use it.
I'm very fortunate to get great medical care and access to all these investigational therapies, et cetera, which is why it's so important to me that this bill gets pushed through, because it gives access to people who wouldn't normally have access.
I live in an ALS hotspot. 2 friends who have passed away from the affliction, and we got to do better.
We're coming across so many who have some personal tie, some connection to someone who is living with ALS. It is through measures like this that maybe we can just make a difference as you're fighting for your lives.
My chief of staff's father passed from ALS. My younger brother's best friend passed from ALS in his arms. But I had had a close-in experience, and my best friend
was just diagnosed. Oh, I'm so sorry.
about 6 months ago. And he's a very talented surgeon. It's accelerating exceptionally quickly. He can barely speak. Your work, giving people hope, is absolutely essential. And your willingness to use your global visibility and character and quality as an actor, and your leadership in the government relations community here, I mean, in the same circumstance, I would not be able to do it. So, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, try. We got this bill that needs to be put on the floor, needs to be reauthorized and fully funded.
Well, it'll be a bipartisan bill. I think we'll have a lot of support for that.
Yeah, I have 2 daughters at home. I want to be around for them. So I've chosen to fight this thing as opposed to curl up in a ball and cry about it. I'll support I AM ALS in whatever capacity I can.
What better issue to rally around than ALS?
I'm not going anywhere. I may see a wheelchair sometime soon, but Dan's got this cool wheelchair. I'm checking it out. I'm not so bummed about it now.
When you look at the global population, the reality is that every 4 minutes, someone is diagnosed with ALS. There actually are about 1.3 million people every decade that die from ALS. Now, I don't think that qualifies as rare, but the problem is you don't really know that many people who are dealing with it because we don't live long enough to become faces. We don't live long enough to become advocates. And that is what we're trying to change.
ALS is called rare, but when it's happening to you and your family, it becomes everything.
As family members, we are constantly grieving new versions of the ALS patients.
This disease steals time. Time with the people you love. Time doing the work that gives your life meaning. Time you don't fully understand the value of until it starts slipping away.
An ALS diagnosis is a dramatic life change, but it did not change who I am.
And I am pushing for progress, not only for me, but for those behind me.
Join us as we turn hope into progress.
I'm trying not to die. And I want to be around for my kids. And I want others to be able to experience the same.
Before we wrap up, I wonder if there's any little message you might want to share with Brian. I know he'd appreciate it.
Hey, Brian. Listen, man, it's unfortunate the circumstances, but it's a privilege to be on this road alongside you and to be able to fight. And hopefully now I can pick up the baton and fight a little harder. I'm grateful that I have somebody like you.
I'm still alive. I'm still fighting. We can't do this alone. Will you fight with me?
Happy birthday to you.
Everything looks different, every breath more precious. I feel you pull me closer, my whole world in my hands. With great love comes strength.
Even though it's sort of selfish, hopefully it will help countless others. Maybe somebody saw that interview I did and doesn't feel so alone or hopeless. Because I don't think this is going to happen overnight. Nobody's finding a cure tomorrow, and AI is probably not going to be the one to come up with it. But if we can move the needle forward just a little bit, then maybe the next person that's in my position can push it a little further.
Everybody say next to me on 3. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I found hope to hold on to. I've got a light that gets me through. I'm gonna fight, 'cause there's one thing I know to be true. When I look at you, I found hope to hold on to.
I don't know if this is necessarily a problem you just throw money at. There needs to be sort of this groundswell of attention and focus paid on this so that it gets the exposure that it requires. You have this sort of propulsive component to everybody marching in the same direction with a singular effort to do one thing. And that's find a cure for this damn thing.
I found hope to hold on to. I've got a light that gets me through.
My husband asked me to close by sharing these words from him. When I last appeared before this subcommittee in 2021, I wondered out loud if that testimony would be my last. Thanks to Act for ALS, I no longer wonder. We now believe that I can be a part of the first generation to survive ALS. What you did 5 years ago made it possible for us to rewrite the ALS story. Now please let us write the next chapter together and end it. Thank you.
So I'm gonna fight, 'cause there's one thing I know to be true. When I look at you, I found hope to hold on to.